Okay, today we're going to talk about making a weavie on the Quilt Weaver looms. This is a hazel rose 3.5 inch square. This is one that I wove with a single strand. I'm going to do it this time with a double strand and make a slightly heavier yarn weavie, maybe a little too heavy. Okay, I have a locker hook here which I'm using in place of the needle that we use on the multi-looms. Okay, we start with a slip knot. I've got 2 yarns together that I'm dealing as one. I put them around the 2 nails. Now this is kind of like weaving with the multi or the weave it loom, but you just have to follow your instincts when it comes to warping. Okay, so instead of going around 4 like they do, we're only going around from our knot. We're going around the well, actually it's the 4th nail on the loom. Then we'll go up, skip 1, around 2 with both yarns, back down, skip 1, go like that, skip 1 and around 2, crossed. You're not going to end up in the same place. Okay, now I come up to this corner. I have the last nail but the corner here, but I have one down here. I'm going to ignore this one, come around this, and come back down the inside. No, down around, okay. Around 2, back up, skip 1, around 2, skip 1, around 2, continue across like that. If you do this on this size loom or any other size loom and it doesn't seem to be working, just try a different little layout and you can skip what is necessary. Okay, I come to the corner, turn the loom again. Now I'm going to come up, this is the 3rd layer, so I'm going to come up between these 2. You see there's a warp on the bottom on each side there. Okay, around that one, down. I want to come up through the space. So I'm coming around this empty nail and back down, around. So it's always centered above the previous warps. Now back up. That's the nail we missed the last time. Okay, now we're ready to start weaving, but I need to measure off 4 loops, or 4, loops, tracks around the outside of the loom in order to measure off the number of, or the length of yarn I need to weave it. Okay, I think that's 3. Round again, 4. Okay, now I'm going to cut. Okay, whoops, I got one of them. Get that out of the way. Unwind this. Thread it onto my locker hook. It's a handy little gadget. It works as a needle and it has a hook if you need it. Okay, now to start weaving, I'm going to hold this and come around. On the multi, we always go over the outside loop, but that's not true on this one. So sometimes we go under, then over, and under, over, under, across. Make sure you get both if you're using double, which is what I got here. Yeah, see, I missed that yellow one there again. Up. It'll be slightly different on different size looms. I have a little sheet I pass out with the looms for the, for the 7 inch. Okay, now I'm going to pull that all the way through. Try not to get it in a tangled mess. Which is, of course, easier said than done. Okay, there's our first one. Now, we go around the next nail and come back through. This time it's over, under. See, this is where that hook comes in handy. It catches both of those yarns. Okay, Now back out. Okay, this might be a little too tight. This is worsted wool. Okay, keep turning my loom. Now I'm around that nail and back under this loop this time, over and under. If you're fussy, you can make sure your colors are all in the same order. I don't really care one way or the other, so they just go as they fall. Okay, pack it down again, back over. This time we're over the outside and under, over, under, across. I think this would make it fairly nice, not too tight. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera stand there. Okay, we're getting a little, use your packing fork or whatever you have to keep them all lined up properly. Okay, back over here and we're under the outside again. There are so many different ways you can weave on these looms. You can warp them singly and weave them singly, use a little shuttle and pick up sticks, make patterns and things. Okay. Well, the sun's starting to come out. It's been overcast, which is kind of nice because it doesn't glare. Okay. Once more, it's over under this time. Yep, missed one. You can use up a lot of your scraps you have in stash from your other weaving projects or your knitting, whatever it is you do. There always seems to be bits of leftover yarn. It's just a shame to waste all that pretty stuff. So these little squares use up little bits and put them together and make all sorts of nice things for yourself, your children, your pets, your house. Occasionally you can find something that'll please hubby. Now what have I got here? There we go. Back through. Now the last row, get that out so we got room to get in there. It's just the same as the previous, under over, but it's a critical row because if you don't get this one, you don't lock in the weaving and it'll fall apart. If you get it, everything's just hunky-dory. Okay, I think we got it. Pull that through. Okay. Well, now I can, there we go. Alright, now you can weave in your ends before you take it off if you want, or just leave them there and deal with it when you make a project. If you have as long a string as I got here, you can use those to sew or whatever the pieces together. A symbol. Okay, I think I got that nice. Let's take it off and take a look. If you're using cotton, it gets a bit hard to get this off because cotton doesn't have much elasticity. Okay, there we go. Rub it some, makes it full and relax a little bit. Here we have the, still have the loops on the outside, but it's a nice non-transparent. This one's a little thinner, but there we have a couple of nice weavies, they're called.